Good evening. My name is Onnesha Williams. I'm a 20-year resident of Hutto. That's my son, sorry. Speaking of which, I like to give a little background. In 2012, I saw America cheer for the death of Trayvon Martin. I saw Americans, white Americans in particular, raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the person who murdered a young black teenager walking down the street. And I had just had two babies, two black boys, and wondered, oh my God, how are they going to just be able to walk down the street? The fear, the paralysis that you feel as a black parent in America trying to raise black children is indescribable. And if I asked most of my white peers and non-black peers to switch with me, they wouldn't. So the work that I asked myself, what could I do to fight such a big thing because I am a mom, and you do anything for your kids, is to say, I'm gonna do the work right here where I have them. I'm gonna create a radius, a 5-mile radius around my kids and do the work. That work started with reaching out to other moms, doing Black Mom, White Mom, having conversations about parenting and our differences, and also doing Black Families of Hutto to create a network and a safe space for Black residents who I didn't see represented in this neighborhood or represented here. And we have committed in Black Families of Hutto to doing good. We have done good. We've cleaned up the Shiloh Cemetery where it was dumped decades and decades of trash that people knew was happening over veterans' graves. We've done Juneteenth, we've done Veterans Day, back to school. We have given scholarships and essay awards to citizens of all different races and types. And my question is, especially as I see so many people behind me that do good in this community, my question is, does the good outweigh the bad? I was asked the other day, do I think Hutto is a racist town? And I gave an answer, which is, I think it's one of those things when you see those 80s pictures where you see all the little dots and you don't see the image at first, but if you kind of look really hard and you squint and you turn your head this way, you see it. I've seen it clearly. We have a lot of good individual citizens, but we have a systemic problem of racism in this town. We have a systemic problem of underrepresented people, Hispanic, Black, Asian, Native Americans in this town. We are not represented on the dais, and we are not represented by our mayor. Not only are we not represented by our mayor, but I can say that in that 5-mile radius, this has been the core, and this has been the center. And what good is the center of anything if it's rotten? What good is the center if we have people accepting it being rotten? In what world do I live in where I could cost this city as a Black woman $12.5 million for being discriminatory and being found by a jury and a judge and still keep my job? In what world could I run off the women in the city council? And what world could I say the things that you said, Mr. Mayor, and still keep my job? Because if I do remember, I was on the commission and I didn't say anything that was unprofessional or derogatory or discriminatory, and yet I was considered to be thrown out for being belittling, which in itself is stereotypical of what people think about educated, intelligent Black women. So I'm asking Mr. Gordon, Mr. Randall, Mr. Thornton, specifically, since you guys have also been the mainstay, does the good outweigh the bad? Because in my case, I still don't feel comfortable with my children walking down the street. I still don't feel comfortable with my children being protected by the systems in this city. And I will still continue to do the work, but I'm asking Mr. Snyder, instead of us getting 6,000 signatures, could you please resign? That is the good that can happen from this situation. Going back and being here is haunting, it's taunting, it's harassing. It's the same as going to work and having a noose hanging at your desk, having bananas and a monkey sitting where you reside to do the work. A Black man, nor a Black woman, nor any other citizen should be subject to that. And the last thing I'm going to say is in the charter, and I do appreciate being a charter review commissioner. So in the charter, Section 1309, prohibition, number 1 says, no person shall be appointed or removed from or in any way favored or discriminated against with respect to any city positions or appointed city administrative office because of race, sex, political, or religious opinions or affiliations. And the penalty for that is any person who either individually or with others willfully violates any provisions of this foregoing section 1309 shall be ineligible for appointment or election to a position in the city for a period of 4 years. And if such person is an officer or an employee of the city at the time of such violation, he or she shall immediately forfeit the office or position such person holds. I think if you're a leader, you should be held accountable, and you should hold yourself accountable. Please resign. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next